Hey everyone, just wanted to share some console mod updates in Baldur's Gate 3 with you guys and talk about some related topics. Last week there were 20 mods that got updated, and I gotta say, some of them were absolutely massive with the amount of content that they added, so we'll be covering all of that in this video. I'll also be giving a little bit of a sneak peek of my next weapon mod, which will hopefully come to console in the future. But I was getting some comments last week saying Larian is done with console mods, and I don't think that's true because they released some massive updates to mods like Rise of the Goldmembers here, which is literally like a roguelike mod within Baldur's Gate 3, and there were some huge changes that we'll talk about. And one of the most requested class mods, the Elder, got some absolutely huge updates, which we'll be going over, and I'm talking huge updates. This class has 12 subclasses, and each of them has unique spells all the way up to level 20. Like, this mod is absolutely massive, and it is now up to date to the PC latest version, like some of the mod videos that I did on this one. There's also some pretty big updates here to Fade's Assorted Treasure Expansion by Graphic Fade here, which we'll cover in a moment, and updates to the Alchemist class mod. I'm just going to go through all the mods that just got updated last week. This is a really fun class mod. The Unyielding Radiance, and there is an asterisk. If you're on console, there are some different steps you may have to take, and they actually reference a video that I did on how to remove console mods, which I'll probably do an updated version on at some point. No VFX also got an update here, which will, as the name implies, removes VFX, and it now covers everything with the latest update. There's also an update to the Emerald Grove all-in-one redesign. I love this mod here by Azazel Was Taken, as it completely changes all the characters in the Emerald Grove. I think it's amazing for subsequent playthroughs if you just want to see something a little bit different, and I gotta say, these designs are very well done. There was also an update to Such a Tease Ornamental Raphael redressing mod by Nick Jima here, and I think this is a cool update because if you give the Crown of Curses to Raphael in the epilogue, he'll now be wearing it. And they also implemented a hair fix from one of their other mods. Really cool stuff. There's also an update to the DMH Assets Vexa. Huge fan of Akelka's Dragonborn mods, and hopefully this means we're one step closer to seeing Clan Song, Karlak is a Red Dragonborn, as we have Astarion, which came out after this mod release, so I'm hoping to see this one come soon. With mods like these, there are a lot of dependencies, and the dependencies have dependencies, because it's honestly amazing what's possible with mods like this. So there's also an update to the Crystal Crown Vexa Gem Dragonborn CC here, which I think looks amazing with these crystals out of the back of the Dragonborn head, and it's fully customizable. There was also an update to Tutorial Exit here by SwissFred57. If you haven't used this mod before, it just lets you skip the tutorial, you get the Everburn Blade, you get Shadowheart Not Mad at You, and the update now lets you get us, so you don't have to, go ahead and do that part before using this mod. There was also updates to the Aelin Always Summons Moonlight Slivers. So if you side with Aelin, she will summon them, which previously she did not. I think it's an awesome mod. We also got Stomp That Tadpole, which if you use any of the tadpoles in the game, you're not able to stomp on it. So this allows you to dabble in it and still get the option. But what's nice about it is it makes it so that you do a DC 14 Constitution check to be able to do that. So this mod by What's on the Flip, amazing. Priestess Gut gonna knock you out. Priest gonna give it to you. This mod basically makes it so elves and half-elves can fall asleep from Priestess Gut. And the update makes the mod size a lot smaller, which is really nice to see. There's also an update to DTO, Otherworldly Archetypes. This is a massive mod that adds in 12 new subclasses, almost like a patch 8 in mod form, because every class in the game gets a new subclass. And one thing I want to mention about this mod is Dalen's done an amazing job of keeping up with comments and updating the mod, as a mod of this scale obviously has some conflicts that can arise with other large mods like the all-in-one Player's Handbook mod. And this update adds a ton of different updates here. I'm not going to go over every single one, but better compatibility, reducing the VFX on certain spells, and properly increasing the progressions all the way up to level 20 on some classes. So yeah, this is a really fun mod to check out. There's also updates to the 5e Sword Coast Cantrip mod here by Ridiac. This updates spells like Booming Blade, it makes a new version, and also adds in Green Flame Blade here. And the thing is, these updates are great because it adds in a bunch of different translations, so more people get access to using these mods. It also lets Warcaster use Booming Blade as a reaction, which is great. There was also an update to the Crystal Crown Pearl Gem Dragonborn CC, so another one here similar to the other. And again, a great mod if you like the Dragonborns. Transmogrification Light. This mod lets you change armor appearances by World Walker 42. There's a variety of different patches and other update mods that you can download to give different mods accessibility with this, but the latest update added compatibility with mods like the Arcane Vanguard by Sathos, the Commoner class by the Wailing Bard, Mindweaver by ZX10RX, Mistress Spells Catnap even now works better with it, and a variety of other mods that you probably have downloaded. So it's really nice to see Larian pushing for these updates that have tons of bug fixes, because this stuff takes a long time to go through and test. Speak with the Dead Unlimited by Swiss Fred 57 also got an update here, which gives you basically unlimited Speak with the Dead, as the name implies. Evelyn's Default Human Underwear also got an update by Scurby, adding a few different toggleable passives to it. So yeah, that was a lot of mod updates. We'll go into some of the bigger ones here in a moment, but I just want to say that Larian is doing an amazing job with these console mod updates because testing mods takes a very long time. I make mods myself and they take like literally half the time that I spend making the mod, which takes around 100 hours to complete a mod. Half of that, roughly 50 hours, is spent testing it relentlessly because there's so many little things that can happen. And that's before even getting into mod conflicts, which also can happen, especially when things are named somewhat similarly. But as I go through and make my mods, I make sure that everything is coded differently so that there shouldn't be interactions. But the way that Baldur's Gate 3 is built, sometimes there are reactions between different mods. Now, realistically, Larian can't test for every single mod conflict, and it's just an inevitability of modding. Like, there's an inherent risk with downloading mods. So I just want to give a little bit of insight into the back end of modding because there's a lot that goes into just not only making the mods, but also testing them. And as I said, 100 hours roughly for me to go through and finish a mod. Like, that's like a month's worth of work in making a mod. And modders aren't paid for any of this. Like, I made like $3 total from a donation, and that's just, we make mods for the love of the game. So there is a lot that goes into this kind of stuff that people just don't see, and of the testing side of things as well. But that being said, I really hope that my lucky Clover Domain Cleric comes to console at some point soon. Got a ton of different luck and gold themed spells, and is a poison based class, but there isn't a lot of available on console. And you could even play as a leprechaun there. So yeah, gold themed abilities. I had a lot of fun with this, but I also just released a week and a bit ago, the Wild Spring Barbarian plus the Nature's Rage weapon pack, which comes with 10 different weapons, a ton of different abilities for the Barbarian, and they are really fun to play. This class originally started as like a rabbit themed class, so lots of jumping from high places and smashing. But yeah, this was a really enjoyable mod to put together, so I hope it comes to console soon for others to enjoy as well. And I do have 2 class mods or subclass mods currently in the works alongside a couple different weapon packs, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. Oh, this is the worst. A critical miss on that jump. And I also have a free Patreon where I do share mod updates. Like last night I was working on this nature weapon, so yeah, you can go subscribe to that for some more behind the scenes. I guess I can also show off the Ice Blade. I'm going to have one with and without VFX here. And here is the Fire Sword, which doesn't have the VFX yet, but we're working on it. It's a work in progress. Now on to the big mod updates that happened. Fade's Assorted Treasure Expansion by Graphic Fade. If you haven't tried this mod out, it is one of the best lore-appropriate loot mods, similar to their other mods, which adds in a ton of really fun weapons and items to the game. This one is more so focused on environmental storytelling, and every item has like a nice little backstory to it. So the best part about this is it fits in seamlessly to the world. You can find this on enemies, you can find it on the ground. There's a ton of unique weapons and items here, and you can see all the modded weapons and items in this description here. There's a lot of stuff, including the Scythe of the Apostle. And the latest console update got one that added in 24 new items to the game, and the Endless Cigar got fixed. So in total on console, there's around 74 modded items in the game, and this had a variety of different bug fixes and stuff as well. So if you liked Fade's equipment distribution, the all-in-one, you'll definitely love the Fade's Assorted Treasure expansion. Now the Elder class mod with, again, 12 classes all the way up to level 20, and every class has their own unique spells. Like if you wanted to play as an actual like wind magician, you got the Wind Walker there. There's a water themed subclass, sun themed, everything you can imagine basically. And the updates were pretty huge. So I did videos on almost all the different subclasses for this mod previously, and there were some changes from the version I was using compared to the console one, which people are very loud and clear. The differences, they're now available on console, which is great. So it did tune down the difficulty, it was pretty powerful in some regards. It removes meta magics, and it adds a ton of different compatibility for different spells, like Dawnstart spells, homebrew spells, Eldritch cantrips. There's a lot of them, you can just read them off there. But many different bug fixes, updating the VFX among the different classes, and the amazing part about these patch notes is you can see the updates by each subclass. So if there's a certain subclass you're currently playing with, you can just at a glance go on this mod page here, I'll have the link in the description, and read through the changes of each of them. There's a lot of updates here. Again, I can't go over every single thing. They do an amazing job updating this mod, and Orhin1985, who's the creator of this mod, doesn't have a PC at the current moment, so there will be updates coming in the future, but obviously they have to wait till that, so patience. It's an amazing mod though, highly worth checking it out if you want something a little different. And one of the biggest mods on console, Rise of the Goldmembers. New content all in one. This actually got some pretty big changes as well. This mod is like a roguelike. It adds in a lot of new content to the game. Again, this mod update is huge for it, but you will want to start a new playthrough when using this mod because you're going to go talk to Goldman the Glorious, looking like a Faerunian Adam Warlock, and he will set up and give you items that allow you to learn spells as you go through the game and let you configure some of the abilities here. So you can call Goldman at any time, and you also have the Gilded Gateway, which adds in a ton of different spells that you can learn. So you can get real creative with your classes, like you can get a Hex Weapon, Hellfire Cleave, you can do Comic Strike, Crippling Pinch, you got the Hound of Ill Omen, the Zephyr Flash. That's just a small piece of the mod. It adds in randomized content. You're gonna see different gold enemies appear, which have different upgrade materials which you can use to empower yourself. It also adds in like a lot of stuff, new items to the game as well. So you can see here some legendary weapons, and they are fun to play with. They got some pretty cool abilities like the staff here, which whenever you cast a spell, it'll create chain lightnings to enemies as well. They also make some updates to things like Ketheric's Warhammer, which should have been a lot stronger than it was in the base game. And there's also some new changes. There's a slap ability that you get, which is, it's a bonus action. It's meant so you can push enemies like into lava and stuff. And I think it just adds a layer of fun to the game. They also did add in the Gilded Athletics here. So if you're using a mod that gives you like an area of effect Longstrider and things like that, this will cut down on your amount of mods you have to have downloaded because it makes it so that you can toggle this on and your entire party will get Longstrider. They'll also get Featherfall so you don't end up dropping to your death. And the best part is it does not have VFX on your character, so you don't have to worry about that. Then there's actual lore to the Goldmembers. It's very groovy, baby. It's not Austin Powers themed. It also adds in a new difficulty mechanic with the Emperor's Lust here, so whenever you have that, you have to use these snail essences to restore that, or else it's a game over, kind of like your camping materials. So you can remove that if you don't want it. You can have the time mode, or you can play normally here, so it's nice you do have that option right at the start if you like that additional difficulty. You also can get the ability to do unlimited long rests if you wanted to. And if you really like challenges, there is the Endless Suffering mode, which is hard. I've lost to it a couple times now. All bosses will create a duplicate and you start at level 2. It is actually pretty relentless, but I think it's fun in that regard. So for example, I got really lucky here, and the imps have 36 health the very first start of the game. Like I have 15 health here, and you just get Lazel, you can't level her up. They get an increased critical hit chance by 25%, plus 3 to attack rolls, plus 2 to all ability saving throws, and again, big boost to their health. But the other thing is they got Final Fury. You gotta finish them off in 3 turns or they explode and take you out. And it also got resistance to slashing damage, which is what my weapon deals. So yeah, good luck clearing the 36 health on 3 of these in the first turn. My mod, the Lucky Clover domain, lets you throw a beer bottle at enemies and get them drunk. So that helps. But I just did 6 damage. Oh, and they exploded anyways, killing Lazel. Now, Goldman just showed up, who has 3,762 hit points, and he ended up taking out a ton of enemies for us, so that was a win. But we also have to face off against Commander Zalk, who has 390 hit points with built-in action surge, and his additional Cambion friend here, who has 342 hit points. And they get a bunch of different abilities here, so yeah, they are quite challenging. Obviously, we just run for this fight. Oh yeah, he absolutely obliterated everyone. Oh god. Power word extinction. Nice. And black hole and chain lightning. It's actually kind of funny watching him attack because he just goes insane with some of these and just continually keeps casting. It's actually really fun to play through that. It's 2 chain lightnings, 3 chain lightnings and 2 fireballs. Oh, he's protecting us. A bunch of extra summons came in and he's going hard at them. Oh yeah. That's great. There are also new merchants added in here, which gives you some pretty fun weapons, as well as different buffs that can increase your stats permanently, and some tomes here, which can give you spells once you reach a certain level. And since everyone likes to purchase these, the elixirs of Hill Giant Strength are also available here, and an item to remove any buffs that you've gotten. And just to show off the difficulty of this mod, we now have 1v2 here with these Intellect Devourers. I have 15 hit points plus the temporary shield that got reduced a bit. And they have a lot of hit points here, and they also get that increased critical hit chance. They got Volo's Guide to Monsters, boosting their attack rolls even further. They also have this shield of 20 hit points, and whenever I reduce that to 0, it'll potentially stun me so then I die. Yeah, it's got a lot of different abilities here, and it is strong. Again, you don't have to use this. This is the Endless Suffering Challenge, which is much more challenging. I just want to give an idea of what this is all about, but it's really fun. I highly recommend checking this mod out. Just want to give a little showcase to this because I think this is a really fun mod that people have been asking for. Trials of Tav, which uses script extender and unfortunately cannot come to console, but this is something that is on console and can give you a ton of fun as well. So yeah, I just want to talk about some of the updates here and just show off the mods and also give a bit of a preview of my next mod, which will hopefully come to console. Now, do I think we'll get a console mod drop this week? Probably. They've typically done, if there was a week that they take off, they usually drop consoles on the next week, but I don't work for Larian, it's just a guess and it's hard to say. But we'll probably get one at some point, so you stay tuned for that. I have always done a video every time there is a console mod drop, so I will post whenever that does happen. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great day. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.